All right, guys, your boy Top Water T, aka Mr. Bass Lives Matter himself. We're gonna take a live look. I'm not crazy, I'm not nuts. You see me with my teeny beanie, itty bitty, ugly stick, guys. That's paired with some braid. We're about to take a look at some live tackle and Top Drops tank and take a look because guess what? It's the spawning season. The water temperature was 58 degrees. It is top water season, guys. Top water is official. After 55 degrees, you might as well get ready to throw some top water on there. And then when that water gets warm like that, those beds are moving up. Probably earlier. Those bass are probably moving up to those beds to spawn, man. It's getting early. I had a couple kids tell me that they saw some bass on beds getting it ready for spawning. We're gonna take a look at some of my tackle that I like to use during the spawn. First off, this is my main man Tommy Fisher who hooked me up with this. Tommy Fisher's jig heads. Um, that's T Fizzle. I got it paired up with the, of course, the Yamamoto. And these claws, they'll fill up with water. The reason I like Tommy's too is because his has a nice, it's a decent bottom. It's decent, pretty decent flat. So it stands up. It causes my, it stands up decent. But these floating claws right here really keeps this claw in a fighting position. A lot of people don't like to use, I don't know, the weed guards I like. Some people will trim them down. I'm not a huge fan of them. I really like an open hook so I can get a nice solid hook set on those bass. But we're gonna take a look at some tackle right now. So let's go to Top Drops Tank. So hang tight, guys. We're gonna take a peek. Let's see. This is known as Top Drops Tank. So let's get this lined up so y'all can see what's going on. Let's get that lined up right there. We're gonna take a look at Top Drops Tank, guys. What you see there, you see Darren. Darren the Dink. So that's Darren. Let's look and see how this lure is underwater. We're gonna take a look. You gotta see how this looks underwater. This is T Fizzle. This is his lures, his jig heads, guys. And the reason I like those claws, I don't know if you can see it, but those claws, you got some good floating claws. When they fill up with water, that's what they start to look like. So when you pop it along, you see those claws in that fighting position. I always like my craw in a good fighting position. Let's see if we can get this adjusted a little bit better for you guys to see so it's above so y'all can see that good. Give you a nice bird's eye view of this. And y'all keep an eye out on Darren. Make sure he don't get me. You know, Darren is elusive. Everybody got that elusive dink. So we're gonna take another look. We're looking at all these lures, man, for these bed and bass. They'll be sitting up in there. But check that out. Y'all see those floating claws? See how it's up in the fighting position there? And then that's just spread down at the bottom. His skirt is spread. So I like the spread of his skirt. Let's take another look. This is just getting a good look at some of the things that I like to use during the spawn. Other people love jigs during the spawn. If y'all can see it. Watch that rock, please. Thank you. Let's get another look at it. Get one more look. So you drop down on that spawning bass, and you're trying to stay in the strike zone. Look at Darren. Darren almost got him, boy. He's about to come out and tag it. But you see that? Fighting position, guys. We love that. I love it. So that's one look. And this is T Fizzle, my main man Tommy Fisher. He makes those jig heads, guys. He makes a really good jig head. I give him that. And then, like I said, that pair with the Yamamoto is money. I love those floating claws. So let's take another look at something else here. We're gonna look at some more, guys. Let's look at a couple little spawning things I like to use during the spawn. So you know Top Drop's crazy. That's why we call this show Yakking a Fool, guys. It's because we do crazy stuff. We weird. We out the box. So let me show y'all the next lure. This is what I really like using a ton. Is like stuff with small hooks on them. Just because the bass like to pick things up and move it. And most of the time they'll pick up the actual lure and not get that hook. But something as small as this, they'll end up grabbing that hook. So this is a TRD craw, and that's paired, of course, with a little Ned rig with a weed guard. So that's another good one. People like those small hooks. I love the small hooks. And those TRD craws stand up really nice. So I don't know if you can see that. coming past Darren. Ah, that one almost tore it up. But you see those claws floating? Just keep it in the strike zone during the spawn, guys. As much as you can. You know, let it sit there. That bass will get mad. He'll come out there. He'll grab it and try to pick it up off the bed. But I don't know if y'all can see that good. Make sure y'all got good views of that. One more time. We're just taking a look at some and equipment, guys. As far as equipment, I learned my lesson a long time ago on equipment with this. I paired mine, of course, not with the baby ugly stick. I do pair mine with some braid. Fluorocarbon. I like fluorocarbon on it just because it's so invisible. My water's clear out at the park. I do like braid also, you know, just to give a nice solid hook set. I like braid to fluorocarbon leader, you know, just so I can get a solid hook set and have invisibility. So, because that braid don't have any stretch in it, but that fluoro has enough gives when it's shaking, you can really work the fish in. I like to pair it with a medium heavy. I'm a medium heavy fan. A lot of people like heavies, but I like my medium heavy 13 fishing rod. It has a lot of backbone, and of course I like something, guys, that's gonna be a high speed gear ratio. I want to get in and get out. So if the higher the speed, the better. When you flipping that stuff up in there and you letting it sit, you want to get it, and once it's out of the strike zone, you want to get it out and continue to pitch again. But when y'all getting these bedding bass, please do me a favor. Try to get them quick as you can, and then try to put them back as fast as you can, because you don't want the bluegill eating up the eggs and messing up the fisheries. You definitely don't want to do that. I know a lot of people like to take the male off the bed and then try to catch that female. Try to do that as fast as you can. So, you know, the bluegill doesn't tear up the eggs. We like to keep it as populated as we can. I know it's nature at its best. But that is, like I said, guys, TRD. That is the TRD crawls right there. And with a Ned rig, little shroom head. So, let's look at something else that Top Drop loved doing. We're going to take a look at some of this. This is I'm going to save that one for last. It's my all-time favorite back there, but my favorite bed fishing lure is I'm going to save for last. This here, guys, is a Zoom lizard. It's going to get time for the lizards. It's a time for this type of stuff. Salamanders, lizards, and so on, those bass hate them. The only thing about these that I notice is that bass will pick it up right here sometimes and then just move it off the bed. But when he grabs this, you got to get a nice solid quick hook set at him as soon as you see him going in his mouth like that. So, but I like to use of course a bullet weight on there. Right now this is just weightless just to kind of show y'all, but I like to use it with a bullet weight and then just weedless that bad boy and then just drag it on through the bed. You know, drag it on past Darren. He'll get teed off. He'll get teed off and he'll eat that. So, but that is a Zoom lizard. I know other people that make great lizards. Y'all can feel free to hit those suggestions down there on the live on what you guys like as far as lizards. But that's one of my favorites, and they're inexpensive. This is a cheapo Zoom lizard. I can't find, I think it's the chartreuse tail. I think it's the chartreuse tail one. I have like some left, but I think that's the one I cannot find anywhere. But that's a good look at the Zoom. So let's look at one. Let's look at some more. Of course, I'm just gonna get that. Well, I'll say that one for last. We're gonna say that one for last along with it. This here, guys, Megabass. It's Megabass sleeper, dark sleepers, but these are little small ones that you know, are good for bedding bass supposedly. You know, you can act like it's just sitting down there pecking. Oh, she went out the tank, baby. You just act like she's sitting down there pecking, but it's a nice small profile that they might pick it up. You know. You see that tail moving? These are little Megabass. These dark sleepers, I believe they're called. This is why we call yakking a fool, guys. We ain't got that KVD tank, but Top Drop got that Top Drop tank. I ain't got the money for a KVD tank, unless y'all want to donate. It's a Megabass lure, guys, just creeping along bottom. Let's look at that one more time. These are all small profile stuff that I like to use. I haven't used this at all. I need to use it because it does look really well in the water. to actually see this underwater now. It looks good. So during the spawn, this might be something I might go to when I see bedding bass or whatnot. Just to have a swim bait type lure that's small enough to be sitting down there. So that's a Megabass sleeper right there, guys. Check those out. Let's move on to the next. We're just kind of zooming through this stuff just to kind of let y'all see. More TRDs. I think these are called hogs. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I can't remember all this stuff. But I think these are like the hogs by TRD. Of course, that's paired up the Z-Man shroom heads right here. So that's just different type of little creatures that you can use. But I love how their stuff stand up. See how those TRDs, like, it keeps it in the fighting position. A bass can't stand that. It looked like it's a face-off. Pac-Man Pacquiao versus Mayweather, baby. It looked like a face-off. Let's look at that again. So they make a good solid jig head. Of course, we all know Z-Man is the truth. They make some good stuff. Look at Darren. Oh, Darren almost tagged him. Almost had a dink in the boat, guys. That's a good look at that. It's more Z-Man products, guys. I don't work for Z-Man. I just like their stuff. So, I'm not B-Lat or T-Lat. I'm just Top Drop, who likes product and it likes to show people's product. Let's look. We got that. That was Tommy Fish's. This here, I have the slightest clue how to pronounce it. But it's a jig head that I got from like Japan. Of course, I ain't ordering crap from anywhere right now. But what we got going, but it's like it's a swinging jig head, guys. It's unique. Of course, that's paired with a Z-Man craw, but it's a super small hook. And supposedly it keeps the craw up, you know, in a nice fighting position too. And it does. You can see that. This one is naked with no skirt. If you want something with less bulk. I got Kenny sending me a message. I don't know why, but we're going to check in a minute. I don't know if something's wrong or what. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, he's sending random messages. So good look at this type of stuff, guys, so y'all can see what's going on and what y'all might want to, you know, suggestions y'all might want to do. If I find the name of this, I'll let y'all know. It was random that I ran across it. But y'all see that crawl coming past Darren. Get him, Darren. Check that out, guys. Once I find the name of it, I'll probably tag it at the live post. That is a nice looking spawn lure. We're gonna look at some more. Let's check out some other stuff that we have here. I forgot to put this one up here. Of course, y'all know I love my beavers. Yeah, my beavers are money. And I like those flatter bottom jig heads, just so they stand up some. But my beavers, Reaction Innovations, one of my favorite. They have less kick. It's more of a, you know, not as erratic as like Strike King, more of the Strike King Rage Crawls or anything like that. So it's more of a subtle, you know, subtle look. But these are Reaction Innovations. It's more of a dragon type one. You know, you can run it past it and drag it. Right on Darren, guys. But they work. These are good ones that work too. So, something to take a look at, guys. Reaction Innovations. Those are sweet, the beavers there, guys. The sweet beavers. Let's get into some more, just so y'all can see. Some other stuff that we have here. I'm gonna get into my favorites. Let's get into Top Drop's all-time favorites. This is really my year-round, well, summertime, fall. I mean, anytime, man. I love a wacky. You just can't beat a wacky. And I'll have that, guys, paired up with a different size weights. I like an 1/8 ounce is one of my favorites on the weight. Um, but you can do a 16th ounce. You want a slower fall on there. Of course, Yamamoto Cinco is the only thing I use, and I usually have a O-ring that I'll have tied around there, so that keeps it from ripping the worm, and I'll lip it through the O-ring. But this is a Gamakatsu weighted worm hook, titanium weed guard. But I didn't pitch this stuff at Bass too. They still love a worm. You know, they love a worm. They like that worm, that quiver. See how that has that quiver? I notice I get less bite on Yum in other products than I do Yamamoto. Yamamoto just makes a banging plastic. You just can't go wrong with a Cinco. Like I said, I'll have that paired up with some floral. You can do it with braid if you want. I prefer floral line. I just like invisibility, you know, a little bit of stretch and invisibility. Mainly the invisibility because of where I fish at. The water actually looks like this water. Darren almost tagged that tip, guys. But that is that. So that is my Yamamoto Cinco. And I'll vary the sizes on those. You know, I typically like the bigger sizes, like 4s and 5s and so on. But that is that. I'm gonna get to my all-time favorite here now. This is my all-time favorite bed and bass lure, and it never lets me down. This is my favorite pairing. I'm about to show you guys what Top Drop's favorite pairing in the world. And you guys probably don't, I don't even know too many people who have them. It's a Keitech mini football jig head. Check that out, guys. I always pair it with a Z-Man Craw, and that is gold. One, because, don't get it wrong, that is a stout hook for the size of this little jig head. And that is a heavy ball, guys. I want to say it's like a 1/2 ounce or 3/8 ounce, but it's pretty solid considering the size and stature of it.